Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, for your Sunday, it's going to be a very special bonus edition of StarCraft Remastered, a best of 5 between Effort and Bisu, starting here on La Mancha. Top right-hand corner is the red Zerg player. His name is Effort. And in the bottom right-hand corner, just down the way, is the green Protoss player, Bisu. And this is La Mancha. I have cast a couple games on this map recently. It is named La Mancha because of the windmill here after Don Quixote, the man of La Mancha. That is the song. It is stuck in my head now. And this is a Pepsi logo, right? Right? Hopefully Blizzard Entertainment, well, Blizzard Activision does not get sued by Pepsi Co. It's a desert map. I like desert maps. They were introduced in the Brood War expansion to StarCraft 1. It's just nostalgic for me. Just a little bit of nostalgia here, and there are plenty of places to expand. There are no minerals-only expansions, lots of gas, so I kind of feel like Zerg likes this map a lot. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of that and that and that, and we're back on top here. So game number 1 here is a pool first, out of Effort, 9 pool. Out of this guy. Are we scouting? Come on. Darn it all to get out here. Let's do that. There's something I was forgetting, and it was to turn off the Fog of War. Or turn on the Fog of War. Anyway, not probe scouting here is Bisu. I'm worried about him fairly immensely right now. He is throwing down a double gateway opening. Oh, this might be good. This might be good for him. If he can wall off against the early link pressure that is sure to come from Effort and have Zealots ready to hold that wall, he might be just fine here. So he is probe scouting. He's going to come up and see that the pool is honestly just about done, which is a scary thing if you show up at the Zerg base at the 2-minute mark and the pool is just about done. And I just want to point out also that Bisu scouted the correct direction, you guys. He scouted the right direction on a 4-player map. Good for him. This does not happen for Bisu very often. I'm going to tell you that much. So we're going to try to fight. And yes, the probe does win a straight-up battle here just because he does. Can't regen some of that health that is available. 2 drones have to come down to try to get this hatch down. I don't think the probe is actually scouted on up into the main base yet. You've been down here this whole time trying to mess up the hatch timing. Now get in the main. Get in the main. At the very least, recognize there are lings coming at this point. And yes, by golly, there are 4 lings on the way back home. Zealots are in production. Some probes coming up to try to hold the wall right now. And is this an open, huge open area? Where are these probes going? What the heck? This is very interesting right now. Are they just bait? I think they're bait. He's like, hey, why don't you slow down a little bit and come kill some of my probes? Not happening, man. It's not happening right now. What is going on? I've never seen aggressive probes like this before when the Protoss player sees Zerglings out. I mean, I guess it does keep the Lings away from the front door. The Lings are definitely trying to kill as many of these Zealots as they can, and maybe some free probes would be nice as well. This is crazy stuff. If that Zealot gets surrounded, he is toast. He is a Zealot toast monster. And yeah, I think he is here. So this is interesting. Out of Bisu, he's actually getting some nice shots off on this hatchery at the natural base. I mean, it's doing okay. It's not going to die to 2 Zealots after that many hits, but this is a lot of Lings out, and this is actually buying a ton of time for Bisu right now. I'm kind of liking it. He was planning on being aggressive with Zealots, and he's not actually going to stop that plan just because there are a million Zerglings out. Actually, pulling some drones himself here is Effort, and here's your engagement. This is going to be it. I mean, there are five Zealots here and 2 probes. That's a lot of Zealots, man. The Lings do not want to engage at all. Looks like the Zealots don't want to get surrounded either. The wraparound is really scary stuff. Free Ling is always nice. Free Ling, possibly free drone. Eventually, Effort's just going to have to go for this thing because he cannot just keep losing all this mining time with these drones. He's going to be in trouble if he is. Not expanding back home is Bisu. Not even walling off back home. He says the best defense is a good offense. And I'm absolutely going to take it to the Zerg player here and make it happen. Lings continually in production. Zealots continually in production. Continually wandering up to the front lines here. There is a creep colony coming up. Sunken colony going to be here pretty soon, Bisu. That's going to be problematic for the strategy you have of dancing around and not being able to be hit by anything because nothing here is ranged because the Sunken is absolutely ranged. I mean, what is it? 39 to 21 supply? All right, man, here come the Zealots. They are getting surrounded by the Lings. The Sunken getting some decent shots off to help here as well. Zealots are going down. Drones are helping with the fight too. Actually forced to go on home with his Zealots, or maybe just pull back to where there are reinforcing Zealots coming I don't know, man. This is really, really tight stuff right now. The good news for Effort is he kept his natural base. The bad news for Bisu is that he's not walled off at all. And it's not that Effort's really been able to tech up or anything. You're not going to see any Mulisks coming, obviously, just because he hasn't had the time or the resources to do it. Some pretty good control here by Effort, I gotta say. He's picking off individual Zealots here without really taking too much damage. Morlings continue to pour on out of here. That's really all we're doing, is making Zerglings with a handful of drones and a handful of probes on the other end here, too. Zealots are like, all right, round 2. I mean, there is still that Sunken back there, which is problematic. If they move too far onto the creep, the Sunken's going to start punching them from the underside. Again, every time I see a Sunken colony, I can't help but think that thing punches you from the ground up into your body. That's got to hurt, man. Like, I understand other stuff would hurt too, but I don't know, something about that area. So, going for it here with the Lings. The Zealots are all gone, except for the one. His name is Bob the Zealot, and unfortunately, there's not a wall back here. Bisu was not interested in walling off. I almost feel like, man, is this going to be enough, though? There's going to be enough Lings to get through this. I'm not convinced that it is. The Lings are going to hammer away at this gateway. The Zealots chase him out a little bit. So this is a gap, and this is definitely a gap. There's no way that's not a gap. Lings being annoying at this stage of the game. A forge coming up from Bisu. A cannon back here would be extremely good. Really, really good for him. But, oh, there's so many Lings are pouring in right now. The Zealots are losing HP by the dozens. Goodbye, Zealots. Great positioning here by Bisu. He's doing his best, but now every single Zealot is gone. One just pops out of that there gateway. No cannon for you, and that's the good game. Whoa. In game number 1, it is Lings versus Zealots and probes versus drones, and it's kind of a build order loss here from Bisu. He was planning on doing a 2-gate Zealot pressure build, but the 9 pool kind of countered it. I mean, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy shutdown here. A lot of Zerglings died, and some drones died as well. But in the end, it was just great control there by Effort. Getting out a single Sunken was hugely important for him. Admit the Zealots couldn't really attack on in there just whenever they wanted to. And bam, there is the win there for Effort in game number 1. Bisu went for the aggression, was met with aggression, and Effort just made it happen. That was a fantastic, fantastic display of Zerg efforts. Haha, Zerg Effort, and just control there. And let's go ahead, check out that final score, and we'll move into game number 2. We're not going to spend too much time on this one because it was really short. There's our music. But yeah, overall here, I mean, more resources mined for Bisu, but this units tab right now produced 38, ended up losing 20 of those, and 77 produced. I guess that Zergling's a lot of it there, and lost 46, but 20 units killed. That's got to be about 20 Zealots, right? I kind of wish it would tell us how many of these units are workers versus how many of these are Zealots, but in the end, Effort gets the win. Okay, game 2 coming at you. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 is here on Fighting Spirit. We're not going to show you Fighting Spirit because you know what it looks like. Top left-hand corner of game number 2 is the orange Protoss player. This time around, it is Bisu. He's down 1-0, but he's not out of it because it's a best of 5. And in the bottom right, the red Zerg player, it is Effort. I don't know what the Smurf name he's running under is. Massagey? Something like that? Massagey? Not entirely sure why he chose that as one of his alts, but it's all over the place on Wikipedia as one of his alts, so it's definitely Effort. Definitely labeled as such as part of the Team Liquid replay pack that I was able to get a few months ago. Really fantastic resource, Team Liquid, you guys. Love those guys very, very much. And let's see what we have here in the early stages here on Fighting Spirit. At this point, it looks like we're not saving up. Not probably saving up here for the early pool out of Effort, as he does have an Overlord on the way now, and throwing up the pylon at the front. Definitely going to try a Forge Fast expand, or maybe a Gateway style expand here. And he is probe scouting. Once again, can't really scout the wrong way on this map if you're Bisu, because your opponent is cross spawns. So you're going to find him at the same time regardless of what direction you choose. So I'm going to call that a win. So that's a win for Bisu. 2 in a row here with this probe scouting. Look, guys, I know people don't like worker scouting, but by golly, if Bisu does it and it's good enough for him, it is good enough for you. Overlord check-in is not going to see where the Protoss player is living because he's checking the bottom left, and nobody cross scouts first. Makes no sense to do that. It's the farthest place. You have much, much better chances going the other directions. Now, where's that drone? Here's the drone. There's the 300 minerals. And there is the hatch. Bam, sucka. 12 hatch here. Out of effort. So no early, super crazy earlylings out of him this time around. And it is a forge. So no early zealots out of Bisu in game number 2 here. So we're going to see a different style game. More of a macro style, I want to say. Holy crap, is it a cannon rush? Oh! Bisu, is he going for the cannon rush here? I have not seen a Protoss player cannon rush in Remastered in a very long time. Have I ever cast a cannon rush? I'm not sure that I have. Oh, look at this Overlord positioning. No, this is perfect. This is perfect. Out of effort. Cruising on up to C and does get perfect vision there. Oh, that's beautiful. He sees the cannon. What's his response going to be? He brings the drones down to try to save his hatchery. Drones, what are you doing here, guys? They're going to try to kill the probes first. If the probes die, this gets shut down pretty effectively, but... Oh, he uses the mineral walk trick to get through and actually get shots off on that cannon. Holy crap, is he going to do it? Is he going to sneak enough drones in here to take that cannon down with the drones? That sucker is almost done. It's also taking some serious hits. I think it's going to finish, and I think these drones are dead, and I think this hatch is in a huge amount of trouble, too. Look at this. Drones. Yeah, drone down. No. Focus the ones down that are actually hurting you, cannon. Oh, boy. And it is alive with 13 HP, and suddenly this base is in a ton of trouble. What a beautiful, beautiful opening out of Bisu. I'm loving the pylons protecting the cannon here. It is down to 13 HP, but rapidly regaining shields right now. Lings can't get through this. Lings can't stack through the minerals. They have to try to hammer. Oh, there is a gap there, though. Oh! Oh, no, there was a gap, and the Ling got through and shut it down. That was incredible. Oh, Bisu, the positioning on the pylon was not quite perfect. And as a result, the cannon does go down after doing some serious damage, killing several drones and a couple Zerglings, and delaying mining on this base for quite a while, but now it's shut down. So now Bisu, I think he got some serious value in that opening stage of the game. My gosh, those first 3 minutes belong to him for sure. There's even a probe still alive down here. Still scouting around, still trying to see what's up. Checking maybe for the saturation on the natural base. If the Lings are busy knocking down that pylon, I can walk in the front door, says this guy. Sneaks on in, checks and sees, okay, so gas is just now getting started. It's not any kind of a crazy, like, 2-base muta play, at least not at this stage. But again, he was slowed down, so the timings can be off here. Third base is up, down, over on the bottom left-hand corner on the low ground, as you do against Protoss. You want to throw up those Sunkens and the Evolution Chambers to block off any harassment here. And against Terran, you want to take the high ground on a 4-player map like this, because 2 lurkers can really deal with any amount of bio that try to come up a ramp on one of those spawn positions. So Protoss gets a perfect scout off here. Bisu sees exactly what's going on in the bottom right-hand corner. He's expanded. He's happily sitting on 2 Nexuses. Everything is going just fine for him. His saturation is kind of beautiful right now. He's up 29 to 18, which again is fairly standard in PvZ for Z to be down, but I just feel like he's extra down. Extra down compared to where he otherwise would be, based on, again, losing that mining time, losing those early drones. Losing early drones, especially for Zerg, is just so problematic, which is why harassment is a thing. You leave a Zerg player alone for the first 10 minutes of a game, you're going to die. So killing drones has a huge negative effect on their overall economy, and I just don't know that effort can recover from this. That was so brutal. I mean, not as bad as him actually losing the natural base, because that cannon is fully protected by pylons, and the only way to get to it is basically if you get Hydras out, which is going to take some time, man. But anyway, didn't have to get Hydras out, going for a lair. And Probe just kind of running around a bit. Overlords are scouting in to see what tech is coming up over here in Protoss land. It is a Citadel of Adun. We got a Stargate coming up here too. Out of Bisu, likely going to be for those Corsairs. Corsairs and DTs, that is a fairly standard strategy we see from time to time in the world of StarCraft Brood War. Yeah, I mean, really, just basically, it is Aspire, though. Okay, so, but no double gas. So just Aspire to deal with the fact that Corsairs are coming out, which means Scourge. Scourge on the way, Corsair in production. And Citadel of Adun is probably going to go for Zealot leg enhancements. And then I would not be shocked to see a Templar Archives come up here, too. But we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that production tab. Third base happily running for effort. That's the best thing that's happened to him in this game so far. Losing that Zergling's not a good deal. And the Corsair is going to take the traditional 42 hits to kill this Overlord. But we'll get there, because there's literally nothing to save it. Spires take forever to build. There are some of the longest buildings in all of StarCraft. Is that a sunken? Nope, that's a hatchery. Man, the model here is about the same size, but the footprint is bigger. The only way you can tell what that is. Bunch of Lings out at the front here. I mean, I guess if you can convince these 2 Zealots to move out of here and abandon their post, the Lings could get in and get some stuff done. But these Zealots are professionals. They're not going to do that. They're Bisu Zealots. They're on hold position for sure. Corsair cruising on in. The Overlords are splitting. They say there is nothing to save us here. There are no Hydras, no nothing at all. So one of the good things about StarCraft 2, you guys, is that queens exist. And queens in StarCraft 2 are not the queens you're expecting in Brood War. They're ground units. They inject additional larvae onto hatcheries to help with the economy of Zerg. And they additionally can shoot up. So they can deal with these early threats without you teching into Hydralisk or into Spire, which is really, really nice. I mean, technically, you could just get a creep colony, turn it into, turn it into a spore colony, if you wanted to deal with these dudes. But Scourge are apparently better. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. The Sunkens are here. The Evo Chambers are here. The Macro Hatch is here. The Zealots are cruising on in. Like I said, Leg Enhancements is on the way. It's almost done. It is just about complete, and there it is. There's the speed upgrade on the Zealots, cruising on across the map here. This is a lot of Zealots. All right, they say maybe the natural base or the main base is a better place to attack this natural here. And I don't know that it is. 2 Sunkens down, and the Zealots can't get through the wall. They're going to try to snipe down the Hydralisk Den. Holy crap. I think they're going to get it. This is too many Zealots. The Sunkens can't keep up. Sure, Zealots are dying, but not fast enough to actually save the Hydra Den, and it does get sniped down there. Beautiful stuff. Now going directly after the Sunkens. The Sunkens actually don't stand up super well versus Zealots if they're getting directly attacked here, and one of them is gonna go down. The other one might survive here just because so many drones and Lings are attacking and defending. A lot of Zealot death sounds are coming through here. And the Sunken does end up surviving, but just barely. Meanwhile, Corsairs say, are there Overlords to kill? Oh, there's a creep colony there. A spore colony to help deal with these Corsairs. The big problem is it doesn't hit that hard versus the Corsairs. They can take a lot of shots before they go down, unlike the Scourge, which is a 1-2 and you're dead type situation. Teching on into Dragoons. Interestingly enough, having killed the Hydralisk Den, I guess it's a fast replant, but going into Dragoons basically means you're going against Lurkers. But again, no Lurker aspect can be researched because the Hydra Den, well, I guess it's back now. So that is a fast building. That is way faster than a Spire, as it turns out. Corsair kind of ruling the skies right now. Zerg's ruling the ground a little bit, although the number of Zealots out is kind of insanely high. Another Overlord is going to die here. Spore Colony doing its best, but man, just really not enough. Where the heck are the Scourge in this situation? I haven't seen them. I don't see any in production either. Are these them? Yeah, they're coming back home to try to deal with these dudes, but then they cruised on out. The Corsairs recognizing we can't really stay in one place too long or we will die to the Scourge. And that's not a great situation. Meanwhile, back in Protosville, no additional tech, honestly. We got the Citadel of Adun and the Stargate and called it good at this stage. Again, working on Singularity Charge. It's just ye old range for the Dragoons, nothing too crazy, and a Queen's Nest here from Effort. Evolution Chamber and a Queen's Nest. He is upgrading Ground Carapace. Probably just going to go to Quick Hive, trying to get there anyway. Zerglings. Oh, they get through the wall. What the what? How did they get through the wall? I don't know, man. They got in and they saw the million gateways and said, huge gateway army. And by golly, it is a huge gateway army. Another Overlord goes down. Supply blocking Effort. Quite nastily. Zerglings inside the main base get cleaned up, but they see the gateway count and say, oh, I don't think I have time to tech up to anything right now. Let's go ahead and just make as many Hydras as possible. And by that, I mean, let's not get supply blocked anymore. As he is still supply blocked. Scourge getting some decent hits up on that Corsair ball. The Corsairs are down to 1. Is that true? There's only 1 there? I don't know. But this third base is in a heaping, helping of trouble. Sunkens are trying to come up, but some of them aren't even creep colonies yet. Yeah, there we go. It's just too many. It's just too much here with the +1 attack. Really doing tons of damage, and that's it. Effort taps out. Oh, great combination of denying Overlord supply blocking Effort and then just doing a huge wave of gateway units. After, again, sniping the Hydralisk Den 2 was a huge play there. Man, Lurkers were not possible. Lurkers would be so much better against these Zealots and, honestly, a little bit against these Dragoons, too. The number was not too high on the count. But Lurker aspect, oh, those are sunken colonies. Yeah, didn't even have time to get to Lurker aspect there. I think he got caught by surprise there. Effort was not expecting this many gateways units to show up. By the time he saw the number of gateways here in the main, it was too late to respond to it. And plus, losing the Hydra Den and being supply blocked right when he needed to make a whole ton of Hydralisks. That was brutal. That was a brutal display there out of Bisu. Nicely done by him. And he ties this series up at a serious 1-1. All right, so we turn into a best of 3 here. Check out our final score. Again, in these shorter games, I don't know if there's a whole lot to see here. I mean, I'm trying to see something insightful here, but it's just not really. 65 units killed by Bisu out of 153. Yeah, I mean, resources here. Okay, definitely more from Bisu. That early game harass with the cannon really did a ton of work there for him. And he just rode that wave into the victory. So game 2 goes to the Protoss. Let's go to game 3 and see if Effort can strike back. It's going to be more Bisu versus Effort here. It's going to be Fighting Spirit once again. Top right-hand corner, the brown Zerg player, Effort. Bottom right-hand corner, orange Protoss player, Bisu. And observing apparently is Hong9. Whew. All right. I'm loving PvZ. I'm really liking it today. Those 2 games were incredible. Hopefully, the incredibleness will continue. Hey, did you know that you can support me here on YouTube? If you hit that join button below this video, you can support me for $5 a month. And I will be streaming here on YouTube 1 day a week. And I'm basically letting the supporters choose what I stream. So if you want me to stream Brood War, then go ahead and hit that button and let me know. Okay? Okay. Oh, additionally, there is the Falcon Paladin Hour. It is a weekly podcast with me and Samacron on Australian, where we talk about StarCraft. We talk about other TV shows and video games and movies and books that exist out there. Big podcasts about Endgame recently. Going to talk about Detective Pikachu and whatnot else that is coming out in the nerd sphere. So if you're interested in hearing me talk with an Aussie about whatever, about nerd things, search for Falcon Paladin on your podcast app, and you will find what you're looking for there. Overlord scouting, no probe scouting today. Actually not walling off down on the low ground this time around. This is really interesting out of Bisu. What is going on right now? He's not walling off his ramp, and he's not walling off this front area either. I'm very curious about what he's up to at this stage. I mean, it's not a pool first here. There we go. There's the hatch out of Effort, so he doesn't have to worry about early lings, but at the same time, you do have to worry about, you know, later lings. And if you're not walled off, Zerglings have a whale of a time. The best possible time here coming to kill you. And that's a Cybernetics core. He's not even getting cannons up to defend against early ling pressure. This is weird. This time scouting the wrong direction entirely, as is this drone, so I guess we're tied on this one. But Bisu, man, on 4-player maps, he has the hardest time scouting the right direction in the games that I've cast anyway. It's a fairly small sample size compared to the number of games that he's played in his entire life, but regardless, it's just funny. It makes me laugh every time. Drones, lots of drones here from Effort. That is a pylon, so it doesn't get supply blocked. Bisu is temporarily supply blocked, which is kind of annoying, but he does have that additional pylon warping in here in the next couple of seconds. No big deal. There's your extractor gas. A little bit early here. I have to imagine we are preparing to go to a lair fairly quickly versus Bisu. Bisu gets those Corsairs out fast. And if you don't have a lair, you're just going to die, is the general consensus there. Okay, you can get Hydralisks, but Scourge are the preferred method. Hatchery pops just as the probe shows up and says, oh, thank goodness it's not early lings. And he's going to try to do some harassment here on these drones, which is kind of fun, honestly. Like, seriously, you're outnumbered 2-1 already here. Going to get some shots off. It's going to regenerate on the drones anyway. I really don't see what matters here. Another pylon, and did I see Stargate? I did. Stargate in that production tab. So a 1-base Stargate opening here. What is going on out of Bisu? Interesting build for sure. We'll have to see what he builds out of that thing. And there's your lair. So remember what I said, that early gas indicates early lair. So he's going to be ready for whatever the heck this is. He should be able... I don't know, man. That is a Corsair. That is a really fast Corsair. He is not going to have time to get out Scourge here. He needs Hydralisks or he needs Spore Colonies. Those two things are required right now. And the drone comes in and sees the 1-base Stargate opening. And what's the response going to be here? It's going to be, well, a couple Zerglings, first of all. And there's your creep. All right, so throwing up a creep colony at the front. You can congregate the overlords over here a little bit, but just remember how long it takes a creep colony, a spore colony, to kill a Corsair. It's a while. It's many, many, many shots. I don't know that I've ever seen it all the way from start to finish because the Corsair's never dumb enough to stay in range of it to die. But this is a lot of Zerglings suddenly, and they are drawing... they're being drawn away here by this probe. Bunch of gateway units down here, though. It's not all Corsairs all the time out of Bisu. He's got 3 Zealots and a Dragoon. And here's your Corsair getting those shots off. Pow, 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 pow. Gonna supply block effort. Yeah, this is definitely gonna supply block the Zerg player. Ouch. Zerglings here, they can't really engage with these numbers against this many Zealots for sure, especially with a Dragoon hammering at him from distance too. I mean, not great. Dragoons are not the best unit at killing Zerglings, but they are not horrible either. Especially if they're not getting hit. The Zerglings are trying to shut down this Nexus, and I guess just run by into the main base. Why not? They've got speed. It's a Spire on the way here too, so Zerglings actually starting to pick up a couple probes. One probe goes down, getting some free shots off on that pylon. Zerglings at the front are super annoying. A little bit of a 2-front Ling harass here out of effort. I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking this a lot. He does depower. The Stargate is going to kill the Zealot. And by that I mean he's not going to kill the Zealot because... Oh, he does get the Zealot. Never mind. But everybody dies because the probe DPS is actually kind of insane. 1 kill here. Too many Lings on the ground. But the Zealots and the Dragoons are chasing effectively well. More Lings in production. A Spire is just about done here for effort. And he's trying to take down this pylon too, which repowers the Stargate actually. Another Zealot goes down. And everybody kind of has to sit at the front here because more Lings are on the way. The Corsairs cannot help with the base defense. Third base coming up for effort down on the left side, or I guess up on the left side of the map here. And this is enough Zerglings to handle this. I kind of feel like it is. Zealot down. Dragoon does not stand a chance against this many Zerglings. And, oh, these cannons are trying to come up. No, not going to happen. The Zerglings are denying them. The probes are trying to deny the Zerglings here. Zealot comes in, starting to whittle down this Zergling count, but basically there's nothing here that can happen for Bisu to actually stabilize here. He is in trouble, and now it's Scourge on the way, and now it's Mutalisk on the way here too. If this cannon can come up, which the Zerglings are sacrificing their lives to make sure that doesn't happen. That was amazing. He just barely got that thing. Dragoon in production. Corsairs not really happening here. More and more Lings flooding here in from effort. It is very tight right now. It's still effectively 2 base to 2 base. This third base is not saturated at all, but the Mutalisks are going to be a whale of a problem for Bisu. Oh, Bisu, what do you have that's anti-air? He's making a Corsair. He is making a Dragoon. Did he lose his Corsairs to Scourge? I think he did. I don't see any Corsairs on the map. No orange outside of this right hand. Oh, it's a problem. And now the Mutas show up. And now another Photon Cannon is going to be denied by the might of the Swarm. This one Dragoon's not going to save it. This one Dragoon's not going to save himself. Corsair does show up here and actually doing some work on these Mutalisks. But the Dragoon goes down. There's only 3 Mutalisks remaining. Additional Mutas are swinging in from the left side and swinging in from the top side here. And here are the Scourge. The Corsair, oh, angles and is gone. And that's your good game effort. Does manage to win game number 3 in 7 minutes and 45 seconds. It's a tough, tough situation. But he did manage to draw even here. Or actually take a lead. I'm a liar. He took the lead in this series. 2 games to 1. Fantastic, fantastic play overall. Just so much Ling play. He's really good with the Zerglings, guys. Good with Zerglings. Managed to tech to Mutalisks while all that was happening. He never got a really huge drone count either. And he was only working off 1 gas, but he got enough Mutalisks to win the day there. Ah! No, I thought I had messages turned off. Yeah, his settings reset all the time, but 5 Mutalisks remaining. Hoorah! Let's go ahead and check out that final score. Nicely done by effort. Nope, just exit replay, thanks. And yeah, here's the Zerg player. More gas mined. Just almost exactly the same minerals mined, and then ended up spending about 400 minerals more, which is like 4 Mutalisks, right? 400 resources more. It's like maybe 2 or 3 more Mutalisks there. So GG. GG for our guy Effort. A 2-1 lead here. Bisu is in trouble. He cannot drop another map or he's out. We'll see how he can pull this off, or if he can, coming up in just a second. Hey there, welcome back. We're going to be on game number 4 here on Circuit Breakers. Bottom left-hand corner, white Protoss player Bisu. Top left-hand corner is the brown Zerg player. It is Effort. Now, somebody said I should be able to throw a... hey, there we go. D&D command. Do not disturb. Will not receive whispers or friend presence notifications. Beautiful. That's fantastic. There's no way to do that in the actual UI, which I kind of find funny, but hey, this is a 1998 game, just that's been reskinned, so whatever. DND, backslash DND will shut that down. Ooh, alright, man. So, Bisu, you're in a bit of trouble here. A couple games where just some early lings and a couple mutas cause you some problems here. Shut you down, beat you twice already. One more game loss, and you are done for the day. Which is not fun. Nobody wants to be done for the day. Everybody wants to win. So, probe scouting the correct direction here on Circuit Breakers. Well done. Well done, Bisu. And it looks like, yeah, more traditional wall off here at the front of his natural. It's a wide area to wall. Very difficult to do, but Bisu is extremely capable of doing that stuff. Oh, hey, also, did you know I have merch? Did you know that if you search Falcon Paladin Shopify on Google or click the link in the description, you can find access and gain information about things like hats and mugs and hoodies and jackets to support Falcon Paladin as well as the podcast. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that stuff out. It's going to be a Falcon Paladin and Shopify. That pool first does end up getting scouted here. Bisu sees it because he went the right direction. There is some RNG in StarCraft, especially in Brood War, and some of it is relating to exactly where you choose to scout first. So again, the probe's going to be annoying down here, going to try to delay the expansion as much as Protossly possible. Effort actually came down early because he knew it would take some time to get rid of the probe. So he came down before he had 300 minerals. Oh, then the pylon block. Oh, I hate the pylon block as a Zerg player. So mean. So very, very mean. But that said, the pool's done. There's already lings on the way. It's a forge expand here. There's the forge from Bisu. Cannon comes up. Probably a gateway comes up. And then you just try to hold the rest of the wall with probes as best you can at this stage. And the pylon got canceled. Oh, and the probe got a drone kill. Holy cannoli. That was impressive. This is delayed quite a bit here. Once again, early game going well for Bisu. This does bode well. The last time the early game went well for Bisu, he won. So far, delaying that hatchery was fantastic. Preparing for the early lings was fantastic. I mean, so far so good. I don't know if you can want anything more for Bisu based on this opening that we see out of Effort. So there's your gateway, still fairly wide opening here, but 4 lings can't get through. If you want to do enough lings to do some damage, at least 6 need to be made here. And you know what? There are some more coming down. So maybe they can get a run by here, but usually if this happens, what that means is some probes come in and help block off that wall. Not doing it, I'm going to point out. That's absolutely not happening, so I think the lings just run in. Might as well, guys. There's enough of you to get through here. See, here come the probes for the block. A zealot is being made as fast as he can get trained. Although, honestly, here's a question. How much do you actually have to train units in StarCraft? Right? All they do is they move around and they shoot. They don't have any special moves. They don't have to know how to operate machinery or anything, really. This is really well done by Bisu, by the way. 1 ling gets through. I don't think he can get up this ramp without dying either. That cannon placement is fantastic. Third base by Effort along the right side. But you know what I'm saying? Like, Zealots, here are your side blades. Stab the enemy with them. Don't stab yourself with them. Is that the training? I guess that's why it takes about a minute and a half. Seems entirely fair. It's just not much. I was going to say maybe the medics get training because they're healing, but really it's just point this magic wand at the units that are hurt and it will heal them, right? So, I don't know, something to think about. There's your lair, and it's your 1 gas play for just for the Scourge. Stargate coming up here now. And Hydralisk Den coming in. So, maybe just Hydras this time around. Maybe no Spire. Maybe no Spire. Did he can't hold up? Did he cancel a lair? This was a lair, wasn't it? This was upgrading to a lair and he canceled? Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky Effort. He's got some plans here. He's got some stuff on his mind. Good control there by the Lings again. Okay, losing one, so it's not horrifically... Not bad, not great either there. And yeah, man, he's going Hydras. Metabolic boost for the Zerglings is on the way, going for a Hydralisk speed. Kind of liking this. This really feels like a 2.5 base Ling Hydra all-in style here. And don't you look at how much time is left on this video and say that Bisu wins this game, because I will very, very much throw up anti-spoiler screens on this to pad the length of the video so that you think there are at least, you know, 2 games remaining. But nope, maybe not. Maybe it's just filler. Maybe I put it in there to fool you. I've done it before. And I do it again. I will do it for every full series that I cast, just so you don't know who the winner is. Anyway, first Corsair cruising on up here. Where are the overlords for you to murder? And you know what? They're kind of out. They're kind of out and about on the map. None of them are here at the natural or the main base, which is a weird thing to really think about. Is you make the overlords and you send them out because it's the safest place to be, is out on a random spot on the map rather than home with the rest of their Zergs. But yeah, man, Hydras are starting to pop at different locations here, different hatcheries. They're ready to go. Lings kind of have map control a little bit. Corsair does find one overlord. That other Corsair is going to help kill this one too, but then the Hydra shows up. Hydra DPS is no joke, guys. Chunk. This overlord is going to die, but this Corsair is going to take some serious damage, which is going to be useful in future engagements. So this is what Hydras do for you. Ling Hydra is so good against Zealot. Really, Ling Hydra is good against Protoss in general until Storm comes out or Reavers come out. You almost need splash damage, or Storm, I guess, as the Templar Archives is coming up for Bisu in the production tab. So definitely, Ling Hydra is the way to go until Protoss figures out that splash damage is good. Yeah, look at this Zealot. He wanders out there and gets massacred. This gateway is going to fall. There's really no saving it here. Bam, and maybe you could deny an upgrade too. I think you can probably hit that forge from like right here, right? Come on, effort. Do it. He is worried about the Corsair trying to murder all of his overlords, though. Maybe he didn't leave enough Hydras at home to stop this from happening. Seems possible. Can you really not sneak up like one more area, one more block, and take down that forge? That'd be hugely important. Slowing down upgrades, especially that +1 attack, is so important for effort. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Dark Templar, actually. Who needs splash damage, Bisu says. I have DTs. True. Ah, see? So without range, they can't get it. Where's their range? Groove Spines is almost done. So that's what effort is waiting for. He's waiting for the range attack upgrade. And then he can shut down this forge. But he might be able to stop the +1 attack here, too. What are your overlords? He should bring an over. There it is. There's the range. But the DT is moving out. And the Corsairs have done a pretty good job of removing all of the overlords. Well, never mind. The natural base has a ton of overlords. We're good. Corsairs have not done an incredible job at all, making it so places are vulnerable to DT attacks. So the forge is going to go down, and it's going to deny the +1 upgrade. Holy crap. The Zealots come out to try to stop this from happening. They don't. They're too late on the uptake there, and everybody just moves on out. Fantastic. So here comes the DT, here come the Corsair, but no, that's not going to happen. The Overlords are sighting for this. DT does not even bother going in. He recognizes there are Hydralisks and Overlords, and that is a recipe for disaster for me. The Zealots have legs. They're going to chase away the Lings and the Hydras, but I think that's a job well done, honestly. Taking down a gateway and denying the +1 attack upgrade is fantastic. Now Storm's on the way. So I'd say, I don't know, early game belonged to Bisu. The last couple of minutes, though, effort has been looking really good. Sure, he's down in supply, but that means he's fairly even with the Protoss until about the 11-12 minute mark is when he really wants to start to get ahead on that supply count. And he's droning up exceptionally well. He's on 3 bases. He's not taking really all that much gas. So it's just going to be more of a Ling Hydra play pretty much for all time with Sunken. So he's not moving into Lurkers. He's not moving into Mutalisks. And that's something Bisu really has to pay attention to. It's going to be a lot of Ling and Hydra, which means charge lots, which means a ton of Storm, which means, honestly, Reavers, but not taking into that today. Zergling's going for the High Templar, trying to pick him off. They get one. Nice snipe. What a beautiful snipe there from effort. Holy crap, that was beautiful. High Templar goes down for minimal losses there for effort. Amazing stuff. Zealots coming on in, but man, Hydras from distance with Sunken support. Really, Hydras with any kind of buffering support are super stupid good. Oh, but the Storm. The Storm, nice dodge there, a bit of a dodge. The Hydras are not moving back. The Zealots are getting right on top of the Hydralisks. This is looking problematic right now for effort. Move them back, micro them back. The Sunken is taking direct hits from Zealots here too. These are not even +1 Zealots. They're just doing so much work right now. Hydra's coming in from the backside. Dark Templar trying to hack on those dudes too. The High Templar get picked off. And the remaining Zealots, it looks like, are going to die. The drones are preventing them from getting inside the main base with their bodies. Oh, it does not work out for them, though. Zealots hoofing it into the main mineral line. Some Hydras do pop out at just the right time to finish these dudes off. And the attack is over. Well, except for this guy. Bob the Zealot is interested in attacking all by himself, which results in his almost death. He's all the way down to 25 HP, period. Fourth base done, though. Effort did not lose concentration during that attack. Still no third base from Bisu, though. He is 2-basing this thing really hard, making additional High Templar. Is he even working on that play? Yes, he is replacing the level 1 ground weapons there. Dark Templar hanging out does have, well, 0 kills, which is not super ideal. Does Overlords have speed? Yeah. Overlords have speed here, so I think the DT might be in a lot of trouble. And he is, but he's also fast. And can he escape? Oh my gosh, he got out. No, he didn't get out. He had 1 HP and he was done. Yeah. What the heck just exploded? Is he killing his own thing? I think he killed his own thing to get out. That's brutal. Always hate having to do that, but maybe it's not as big of a problem as I try to make it out to be. Alright, man, this is a lot of Hydralisks. They don't have any attack upgrades or armor upgrades, but they're working on it. Missile attacks is coming in that production tab. +1 attack is just about done now for Bisu at the 12-minute mark, 11-minute mark, which is so sad. Really, really sad here. Lurker Aspect finally coming in. Second gas has been taken, and a third gas is being taken now. So definitely going for those gas-heavy later game units right now. That is a lot of Gateway, though. A lot of Gateway Army with +1. +1 is done for the Hydras, but they're just outnumbered is the problem. They don't have any Lings to buffer for them right now. And as a result, they're forced to pull on back. I'd love to see Ground Carapace being researched by efforts if we can make that happen. But just that +1 missile attack is all we get. 117 to 79 supply. Lurker Aspect is not done yet, and I kind of think he needs it. Versus this many Zealots and this many Dragoons. If it was just Dragoons, sure, man. But the Zealots, especially in an offensive position, are going to do pretty well for themselves. Overlord does get picked off. Again, any Overlord that dies means the DTs that exist are going to be a little bit better. Not that I'm not entirely sure they actually exist. There's your Storm, though. Whoa! Beautifully placed Storms here. Just full-on retreat right now with these Hydras. They're trying to get out. They're trying to lead away from the third base here. Some Lurkers are now in production. But is it enough? Is even a couple Lurkers... Where are they anyway? Oh, it looks like they might be... I don't know where they're morphing in. There we are. Alright, so 2 right here, but... Man, that Singularity Charge attacking on back. The Hydras are trying to snipe down the Dragoons. They recognize the Zealots are not as much of a threat here with the Lurkers on the ground, but there is Storm available. A lot of Hydras out. If they can catch this group and cut it off, that's going to be a big deal right now. When they do, they catch this group and entirely cut it off from the front right now. But the Dragoons are just pushing on in. There are too many of them. Not enough Lings, just Hydras and Hydras. From distance. This is looking okay for effort. He's kind of getting some pickoffs in the middle here, slowing down Bisu's ability to reinforce his front door, or reinforce his front. And the attack. Third base is done by Bisu down in the south right now. More and more Hydras in production, more Lurkers coming in here too. It's looking pretty nip and tuck, you guys. I'm not sure who's going to be able to come out on top here, but an attack coming on into the natural base now. Bisu trying to make this thing happen. A flank attack of Hydras tries to do some stuff, but nope, Storm chases them away. Macro Hatch going to die, attacking on in, trying to find those High Templar, but they are being buffered very nicely by the Zealots and the Dragoons. The Dragoons very patiently sieging the front. They take down the Macro Hatch. Storm being thrown down. Hydras are everywhere right now for effort in different angles. Picking off the High Templar. Nice pickoffs. 2 High Templar go down in quick order there. Beautifully, beautifully done. And he's just buying time. He's on 4 bases. He's economically, he's making so many Hydralisks at a time right now. 4 or 5 Hydras at a time. Dragoons are being made pretty consistently here too, though, from Bisu, with 6 of those being produced at once. I almost want to see a Ling transfer here. A Ling tech switch. Oh, here we go. Hydra's getting caught a little bit out in the open here on move command, and then forced to retreat. Effort's reaction time actually pretty fantastic on that one. Hydra's finding some free Dragoons, but additional ones are showing up right now. +2 attack is almost done on those Dragoons. Additional upgrades. +2 is coming in right now for effort, but it's going to be late. Zealots tacking on in. That is too many Hydras and too many Lurkers, friends. Pretty nice dodge on the Storm there. That was not as good of a dodge, but High Templar getting sniped down. There's only 1 HT remaining right now. But the Dragoons from distance do not care about your Lurkers. The Hydra's trying to pick off. There we go. They got the Observer. Nice snipe down there. The Lurkers should be able to do some serious damage. But the Zealots just attacking on in, killing whatever they can. The Lurkers are not a priority because there's really only one of them. It does go down. What? Where the what is your detection? Hold on. All right. Well, Bisu's tacking on in. The natural base is a graveyard. No drones remain here at all. Lurker on the ramp trying to block the advance of the oncoming horde. Hydra runs to his death a little bit. Up north, Hydra is trying to come from the other reinforcing areas to attack on in. Oh, there's your Observer. Hey, man, I didn't see you, but you were there. Oh, that Storm was absolutely brutal. The Lurkers are not enough. And that's your good game. Bisu does end up taking it in 16 minutes. On the nose. Nice work there. The Storms were beautiful as you would expect. The Hydra strategy pretty good there, but when the Storms come out, the Zealots are the Lurkers not doing as well against these. Did they get the +2? They got the +2 on the Dragoons, and +3 is getting started here now. Just upgrades for Bisu are beautimous. Absolutely fantastic in that game. 10 kills on that Dragoon, guys. 10 on that one as well. These guys are veterans of the Protoss forces. Makes it happen. Expanding behind it. Bisu taking a 4th base. Just absolutely on fire. Producing units everywhere. The Storms were everything. If you're going to deal with Hydras, you need Storm Reavers. Or what was the other thing I was going to say? Storm Reavers. I think that's pretty much it, honestly. Woo! All right, so let's check out the final score on this one. Bit of a longer game. I think it's more interesting to see here. 103,000 on the score for Bisu versus 79 for effort. 139 units killed for Bisu. That's a lot of Hydralisks, a lot of drones, a lot of Lings there too. Structures raised by Bisu is 8. Most of those in that final engagement. And then more gas mined, more minerals mined, and 3,000 more spent. How? How did he have those good numbers? I mean, effort was on 3 bases for a while, and then on 4 for quite some time. I guess Bisu probably just had better saturation on those bases, more probes than drones. I don't really know how else to explain that. He did get a 3rd base eventually, but I mean, effort was already on 4 at that stage, so go figure. All right, so that means we're down to a game number 5. Who will come out on top, effort or Bisu? It kind of seems like if it's a shorter, scrappier game, effort has the advantage. But the longer the game goes on, Bisu might be the one who is sitting in the captain's chair. So stick with it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Game 5. It's Game 5. It's Neo Jade. It's Effort. It's Bisu. It's the Kespa official map. Top left-hand corner, the white Zerg player, Effort. And in the bottom left-hand corner, the red Protoss player, Bisu. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a good time. Going to be a great time here between these two players. Game 5s are always insane. They always have some good back and forth action. Everybody's playing pretty much the best level they can. Focused, strong, smart, watching that mini-map, making good decisions, great control on their units. Nobody screws this up. I've never seen a Game 5 where it's like, I didn't scout for the 4 pool and I died. It just doesn't happen. You scout for this stuff. If you lose the whole darn thing. So, again, weird map, Neo Jade. You're in a pit, basically. Your main base, you're surrounded by mountains. You get out by going up a ramp. It's so weird. Your expansion's up here. This is pretty easy to wall off, which is nice. And then there's another ramp that goes down into the rest of the map. It's just, Neo Jade is one of those really weird things. Back in the early days of StarCraft, this was more common. And honestly, I actually fairly recently learned from Caden, actually, one of my Discord members. Great dude, by the way. I like Caden quite a bit. If you want to join the Discord and meet Caden, you can do so by joining the Discord. There's a link in the description. Anyway, what he said was, actually, most of the maps currently used today were created by community members, and then really just approved by Blizzard to use in competitive and official tournaments. So, I mean, I guess I could blame those people for making the weirdness, but I don't know, Blizzard approved it. so we're just going to roll with that. There's your forge, there's your pylon, your expansion is going to come up, maybe a cannon here too. It is a pool first play. Out of effort, which, man, this is risky. If you go pool first against Bisu and don't beat him, you're in a world of hurt. However, Bisu has shown that he's maybe not up to the task of dealing with early Ling pressure and consistent Ling pressure out of effort. So it's a small sample size, right? And it's very possible that Bisu would be fine anyway, but this early pool does not bode well for him. So there's your pool. It's done. One set of Lings is on the way. Additional Lings would be nice, maybe. If you're going to go for this early of a pool, I guess he doesn't have the resources for it quite yet. He snuck a drone in there. He's making more drones. All right, man. So early pool into expansion. I guess just so you can deal with this scouting probe? That's all he made. These are not aggressive Lings. These Lings are not intended to come down here and do anything at all. They're going to try to keep this probe away, I guess is all they're doing. Maybe make it easier to get a third if the probe's not harassing your stuff. So cannon on the way. I don't even know this is entirely necessary. I don't think that 2 Lings is something you need to make a cannon for, but you're not entirely sure how many Lings effort is making, so when in doubt, go with the safe bet there. Gateway coming in, and yeah, that's pretty narrow, man. It almost looks like 1 probe can hold that. Probably 2 against the Zerglings, but the cannon's up, and now the Lings can't do anything. The Overlord says, yeah, there's definitely a cannon there. I'm getting shot in the head here. More in the butt, I would say. That's more of a getting shot in the butt situation. Hey, look, there's your third, way across the other side of the map there. All right, man, so effort went for the pool. Not like a 4 pool, not a crazy early pool, but the pool into a hatch, into another hatch. And he now has his gas coming in here as well. So, Bisu, what are you working on, man? He's got 1 gas up. Not much else happening, if you ask me. So just droning. I mean, I guess until the Cybercore is done, we can't really know what Bisu is up to, as that is the key to all of the interesting tech in that tech tree. There's your lair. All right, man. So lair on the way. No second gas taken quite yet here. Likely just going to be for the Scourge to deal with the assumed Stargate opening that we're going to see here out of Bisu at some time. I mean, we don't see it now, obviously, because the Cybernetics core is not finished yet. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, so you can catch the 4 weekly Brood War casts that I post on my channel. 4 a week, you guys, is a lot, and it is a Stargate, so nicely done effort recognizing what's going on here and basically rushing to that spire fairly quickly. Look at that. The lair is about done, and the spire comes in. It's a long build time, but should be able to have Scourge out in time to deal with the Corsair ball before it gets too scary. Pushing out with the Zealot. Just going to go ahead and try to harass the 3rd base a little bit here, which means Lings need to be in production, or maybe they just need to come from over here, and by golly, they do. Their speed is not done yet, but dealing with Zealots doesn't really require speed, because you're faster than them anyway. So the Zealot comes in. Going to go after these drones. The drone's trying to evacuate, maybe get some early shots off on this thing to hurt it. Zealot's going to stack himself into a corner where only a couple Zerglings can get him. And the Zerglings don't even want to engage. Oh, man. Can he hit through that? Oh, the Zealot can hit through that. Only 1 Ling at a time can attack. Oh, that's such a great position. Nope, there's 2. There's your 2. 1 drone goes down, but exchange for a Zealot. That's not a fair trade. That was a bad trade for Bisu. Early game awarded 2 effort for that exchange alone. Yeah, man. Effort's been pretty much unmolested so far in this game. He lost a drone, but killed an entire Zealot with it. That's pretty good stuff. Got the Spire on the way. The Corsair production has begun. First one. Oh, second one in production already here. So there's going to be a little bit of a time here where there's nothing to stop this Corsair from getting stuff complete. But Effort is okay with that. His Spire is almost out there, throwing up some Sunkens at the 3rd base, as is tradition, and defend against the attack that is going to come. The Zerglings here just to make sure the Zealots can't really move out without causing some major problems to their own well-being. The Corsair finds the Overlords and gets to work. Look at that lighting. It's nice, isn't it? Looks like a taser. It's like a long-distance taser. And not that I mean like a wired long-distance taser, but like wireless. A wireless long-distance taser. Is that a thing? Can you shoot electricity at somebody without wires? I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. Is that 3 hatcheries in production right now? Holy shamoly. One hatchery there, one hatchery there, one hatchery there. Dang! Effort's going to be on 4 bases and 2 macro hatches in just a little bit of time here. Zerglings trying to dance a little bit. Corsair count getting a little bit scary. Tiny bit scary here. The Corsair fly on in and trying to get a... Oh, the Scourge! No, not able to do it. Nice ring around the Rosie there. Picking off that other Scourge. I think one did get a hit. One of these dudes is fairly injured anyway. Zerglings. No, too many Zealots. Too many Zealots on the ground. Too few Zerglings on the ground. It is a lot of droning right now from Effort. Can't necessarily say that I blame him for it. He needs to be doing it right now for sure. Scourge catching 1. Oh, really? I can't believe that was a miss. That is not enough Corsairs where you can turn around and actually evaporate the Scourge before they hit you. I think you need about 6 to 8 to make that happen. But 4 is not enough here. Bisu is forced to flee. Zealot's not quite sure where they want to attack. They're just basically making Effort prepare for both potential locations. Sunken here, and 2 Sunkens in the natural base too. Ah, nicely done. Nice target firing. The Scourge do get picked off there. Now there are no Scourge out. Just kidding. There are still 2. Actually, there are a whole bunch. Never mind. That was really good target firing, but you're not out of the woods yet, Corsair pilots. Working on range for missile attacks, actually, for Hydralisk. Did he already get the range upgrade? Didn't see it coming through. Oh, no. That was no. Ow, that hurt a lot. Those Scourge get massacred for nothing. No damage at all. It's only 1 sunken here. Okay, 1 sunken and a spore. Fair enough. Overlord's getting massacred regardless. Remember how I said spores don't do a great job at killing Corsairs? Man, just not a good job at all there, Dark Templar. Did I say Dark Templar in production? I did, but I was lying. There's a Templar Archives coming in, so we could see DTs. Trying to figure that one out. 4th base happily running. Okay, supply blocked hurts, but not supply blocked anymore. He's able to recover pretty quickly, making additional Overlords to make sure that's the case. Trying to do this mid-game with Lings, really. Just trying to make Lings the thing here. Upgrade advantage. Zealots. Zealots have the +1, which means you need a lot of Lings to deal with these guys. And you do. You do have a lot of Lings to deal with these guys. So I think you're going to be okay regardless. Corsair continuing to fly around. Probe setting up for a 3rd base at the southern section of the map. Corsair count has not really been whittled down, and that's a problem because now there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There are 10 Corsairs out. Overlords get evaporated in this situation. Zealot's trying to come in here, but it turns out that Hydra Sunken is pretty good against Zealot. That one made it up to the 4th. He actually does get a pretty good scout off that 4th base, which I'm pretty sure Bisu knew existed. He is not surprised by this at all. Really? You're going to make the drones fight this guy? No, you're absolutely not. Especially not with +1. Sheesh. That would be mean. Hey, look! Shuttle! Our first shuttle of the whole series. Dropping 2 DTs into the main base where there are no detection Overlords because they were chased away by the Corsairs. This is like the first official DT Corsair thing we've seen succeed in this entire series and really on the channel in quite some time. Oh man, this is brutal for Effort. This is just absolutely destructive to all end. The Spire's gonna get sniped. The Overlords are trying to come in here, but nope. Absolutely not. Massive supply block there. Effort went for it. It did not happen. Oh, the spawning pool could go down here too. The Overlords are coming in and trying to save the day. DT's detection and Hydra. That's your combination. One more swipe. No. 45 HP on that spawning pool. It does end up getting saved, but the Spire is down. So many drones are down in the main base. That was not a great pull from Effort. He should have pulled his drones out of there so fast. Gotten up here, maybe gotten into the 4th base. Tried it anyway. I don't know. 110 to 76 supply. The Protoss player is up. He's looking strong. Storm is being researched here too. And like I said, the longer the game goes on, the stronger it seems Bisu gets. This is so many Overlords dead, you guys. This is so many dead Overlords. The Corsair count, I still think, has not lost a single member. Nope. Has not. 5 kills on super injured guy here. Only 1 on you, because you stink. But man, once you get up to 10 Corsairs and you don't have to replace them, and you don't have to worry about Mutalisks or worry about Overlords, really, you can do some serious, serious work here. As he has. I mean, that main base got absolutely crushed. There are Hydras and Overlords waiting for future attacks from Effort, or from Bisu rather, but it's not really happening. Corsairs, they find another Overlord over that way? It seems like they did. Seems like at least they dodged in to see what they could see. Replacement Spire in production up in the main base again. Seems a weird place for it, but I guess it is really well protected right now. Effort splits off some of his Hydras and Overlords to try to protect the natural base a little bit, as there are some Zealots wandering over that way. Third base happily running for Bisu, transferring some probes on in. 8 Hydras at a time, but again, the Storm is going to be the answer for these Hydralisks. Without the Storm, problematic. With the Storm, your fortunes change immensely. Why are there Overlords in the middle of nowhere? I don't understand. Corsair dies, but a supply block happens again here. Only 1 Corsair goes down through all of that, and effort is still supply block. Okay, 3 Corsairs go down. That hurts. That hurts a little bit more. We're down to 7 at this stage, so not as impressive as it used to be, but supply blocking effort at this stage, where he needs units to defend against this Zealot attack, is going to be beautiful for him. All right, here we go. Moving on in. Zealots getting right on top of those Hydras. That's exactly what you don't want to see. Man, look at these High Templar. They're like, we don't even need to really do anything here. All the Hydras are dead before we have to throw any storms out. Reinforcing Hydras are here, though, from the 4th base. Reinforcements streaming across the map from the left side here, too. Great storm on the ramp. Oh, all the reinforcing Hydras from the 4th base end up going down there. Beautiful storms for sure. Drones actually fighting against High Templar, and they help kill it. That's hilarious. I mean, for all the bad stuff that's happening here, oh, like that. Another great storm. High Templar ready to go. Another beautiful storm. Oh my gosh. It is a graveyard of Hydralisk's corpses in here. All the Hydras are gone, which means the Corsair fly on in and kill as many Overlords as they can. Unfortunately, effort doesn't really need all the supply. He is well in hand with supply right now because he's lost so much stuff. Hydra is popping out in defense of their homeland. Gonna be able to clear out those guys, but I don't know. That was a lot of dead Hydralisks. We got another big Dragoon army here. Beautiful tech switch. Actually, again, what we saw in game number 3, wasn't it? And there's your good game. Whoa! Was that a little premature? Hold up. That feels a little premature. I mean, we're going to say Bisu officially wins the best of 5 today for your Sunday series. Looking good doing it, too. Again, I know I've said this several times, but the longer the game goes on, it seems like Bisu just gets stronger and stronger and more able to win these games. So, let's zoom back a little bit here. All right, so after that attack, we are looking at 132 to 93 supply. A lot of Hydralisks have gone down. A lot of them have been stormed. A lot of drones have been killed, too. I mean, I think effort has dealt with... Yeah, dealt with the attack up here. The Corsairs are still roaming free. There's an Overlord for them to kill there, too. But, yeah, I mean, it's just he didn't have enough, I think, is the thing here. His bank was 300, 800. A 3-basing Protoss player with full 3 Vespene Geysers there is pretty brutal stuff. Upgrades, +1 attack versus +2 attack. He's down in upgrades, too, and the storms are just going to keep coming. Yeah, it feels a little bit premature, but I think effort saw the writing on the wall, tapped out, and said, we'll try again next time. So, very nicely done. Again, I think effort was in a great position. He got his 4 bases up fairly easily. He won some engagements. The Corsairs were a problem, though. The Corsairs did not get whittled down soon enough. And as a result, effort was supply blocked several times in the first 10 minutes of that game and really slowed him down quite a bit there. So, great job. Great job by Bisu. Just being everywhere, being a macro king that he is, and also making some great decisions there, too. His storms are always on point. So, I mean, the best storms you're ever going to see. All right, fantastic. That is going to be it from me. I mean, I guess we could check out the final score, but as I said, for these shorter games, it's not as illuminating, I don't think. 120 Zerg units killed and only lost 37, 38. All right, that's your big deal right there. That is so many dead Zerg units. That's Overlords, that's drones, that's Hydralisks, and that is Zerglings too. Resources, Bisu mined more minerals, and look how close this total spent is. 24,263 to 24,250. So, I mean, Bisu outspent just a tiny, tiny bit, but this is the deal right now. That is the storm. Those are the Zealots and the Dragoons making it happen. So GG to Bisu, winner of the best of 5. And that's going to be it for me for real this time. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.